Hey, it's your dad, the wizard, and I joined a cult when I was a teen, so let's talk about that. One of the first things that I did when I got onto the internet as a kid, this was like 1998, 1999. I was like 13 years old. We had the good old AOL, America Online, as most people did. Those free discs in the mail. We didn't upgrade to DSL for forever, actually, or cable, or anything like that. But so one of the first things that I did when we got home internet, aside from playing games, the original Rainbow Six specifically was one of the best ones. Um, I was really into looking up, like, what is the meaning of life? Obviously, like paranormal, supernatural, occult kind of stuff. Back in those days, there was the same way that Facebook has groups today. There was these things called MSN groups that you could just join. You like look up your specific interest, and join a group, and it was like a message board where you could talk to people and post pictures and stuff. I was in one of those. I was on abovetopsecret.com/forum. I think I ended up like getting into fights with the moderators/owners on there at one point. That was where I picked up a good amount of information. They actually had some legit shows about like weird stuff on TV back in the day, like Discovery Channel and stuff. Who's the guy from Star Trek: The Next Generation? Jonathan Frakes or something like that. There's that meme of him that's like, "Nope, we made this one up." That show specifically, I think I watched that or something like it, like Unsolved Mysteries or something like that. That's how I first learned about like uh 2012 and stuff. So I was pretty convinced that I was gonna die by the time I was like 30, for sure. Although, this would have been like way before that, but for some reason I always had this idea as a kid that I was gonna die by the time I was about 30. But now I'm in my 30s and still alive, so that doesn't seem to have come through. Well, who knows? Could be any day now. Um, but yeah, somehow I found this group online. I don't know if I want to say their name for legal reasons. I'll tell you that the founder, like the original founder, is from like Colombia or something, and all the leaders of the groups have weird names like Samael and Beelzebub. I don't know why they would like specifically choose demonic names. They say it was like a form of Gnosticism, but it's not like any of the Gnosticism that I've heard about in recent years. Like, I never heard about the Demiurge or the Pleroma or any of this stuff in this group. It just seemed kind of like a cult that used the word Gnostic as a cover to say that they're like a persecuted, somewhat Christian adjacent organization. I don't know. But yeah, the internet was really cool back in these days because you could just like join any of these groups as a 13-year-old and it was free. So this group had this website and you sign up and they had all kinds of courses on it. There was like the first two, you have to go through either astral projection or searching within. Astral projection obviously was like a, I don't know, like an 8 to 12 week course teaching you how to astral project. And then searching within was more of like a meditation, concentration kind of thing about how to get into the present moment. I remember like walking to high school at the time and doing these exercises and like really getting into the present moment and thinking about all the sounds around me and focusing on like just the sounds or just the sights, like shutting my brain off and just taking in the present moment basically. And then as you complete those, there's other courses that have those as prerequisites. I think there was something else, and then there was like Journey to Enlightenment, and then you get all the way down. They actually have like a course to become an instructor with them or whatever. I applied to that when I got all the way through, but they didn't take me for some reason. I think they said that they would like meet with you in the astral and like to see if you're ready or whatever. I never actually managed to astral project. I tried it for like a few weeks and I never got anywhere. So I guess they could tell that I was a phony, that I shouldn't be an instructor yet. So I got rejected for that, or because I was 13, or I don't know, maybe just however I answered the questions. I always had people online tell me I was like an old soul or something when I was like 13 years old too, talking about this kind of stuff. So that's kind of interesting. Is that my knee or my hand? That's my hand. So yeah, I joined this group. I was like reading books. There's like 20 plus books by this original guy that founded the group. That was interesting. And this was like my religion for a couple of years. My parents didn't know about it. I think I stopped eating pork at one point because they said to. I don't know. So yeah, I never actually managed to astral project. What I liked about the lessons, though, I mentioned the Rosicrucians in a somewhat earlier video, but this group, it was a lot more practical. So every week you would have like this PDF that you had to read. I think I still have these PDFs somewhere saved on my computer. I would love to take these courses and like rework them into something of my own and start my own cult one day. Actually, I don't know. It seems like a lot of work to build up that kind of following. Maybe if this YouTube channel takes off, we'll start a cult and I'll teach you how to astral project, even though I've never done it myself. But yes, you get these PDFs like once a week, and the first half of it is all theory about like, I don't know, chakras or how the universe works or whatever, and then the second half is like practical steps for stuff you could do, and they would have like these mantras that you could say for like chakra stuff, or like protective things that you could say. I still remember them. In the name of Jupiter, Father of Gods, I conjure you, Te Vikos Kosalim. That was one of them. They had like mantras, I don't know. But yeah, and like how to astral project. So that was really cool. I like that layout. I think if I ever started a online cult, that's how I would do it. I'd have lessons, and every week it'd be half theory to brainwash you and half practical information to give to you. And this group, they actually have physical locations all over the world, or they did. I don't know. Last I looked a couple of years ago, they seem to still exist. I don't know if they have like meditation centers all over the world. I don't know if they're still active or not. There's one a couple hours from me at the time growing up. Obviously, I never went there, which is probably good as like a 13-year-old kid to not walk into a cult. But yeah, there's probably stuff like that out there. I don't even know how I found them. If you just like Google, you're gonna eventually find this kind of stuff. Maybe more so back in the day where little websites like this could show up. But I've seen, like on meetup.com, there's this group called Ekinar, and they have this place called the Temple of Ek. I don't know too much about that, but that super seems like a cult. Like another version of like Scientology or something that still exists today. So if you want to join a cult, maybe that's the way to go nowadays. I don't know what they're all about, but that's about it. So watch what your kids are doing online maybe, because they might be joining weird cults.